Sure, absolutely. Well, thank you for having us. And my team and I, we are certainly excited to be here in Columbia and have the opportunity to come down here and represent our conference, represent our school, and represent our families and our team against one of the best teams in the country, and then or maybe I should say three of the best teams in the country. And really, me and the guys, we couldn't ask for anything more. We're proud of what we've done this year thus far. We've competed hard. It's been a tough year at times. We've had to earn everything we have and everything we've gotten up until this point. So to draw the two-time defending national champions, I guess everyone was surprised but us. That would be the way it would go. But we're excited to be here, and the one thing I will say about my team is they will compete, and they'll play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and they'll play hard, and we would be doing a disservice to our school and our families and everybody that cares about our program if we didn't. So we don't have any guarantees other than you will all see our best effort tomorrow at 4 against South Carolina.
Questions? David.
Coach, you come into this regional and basically everybody's talking about the big rivalry matchups among the other three. Just what was your feeling about coming in amongst all that and thinking, well, the pressure's really maybe on those guys and not us?
Well, yeah, I guess I would agree with that. It certainly looks like this region is built maybe for that winners bracket game of South Carolina and Clemson, and I certainly can understand that matchup is big. And I've even though I live in New Jersey and coach for a team in the Bronx, I understand what it's like around here in the SEC and the ACC, and that rival. I certainly do respect that. With that being said, we're not really all that concerned about what the other games have to offer or that. My concern and my focus for my guys is to be prepared to compete against South Carolina tomorrow. And that alone, we'll certainly have our hands full. So we can't get outside of that.
Rick, Daryl, and then Patrick.
Taylor, everyone's surprised and amazed at your numbers and what you've been able to accomplish. Are you surprised by what you've done this year?
Yeah, I'm definitely a little surprised. Going into it, I was definitely confident I was going to have a good season, but I was not expecting to have the season I had. And then definitely this past weekend in the MAC tournament was something that was pretty special.
Yeah.
Taylor, against Canisius there in that game, it get to the 8th or 9th inning. What were the conversations like at that point in the dugout when coach was asking you, I would presume, how are you feeling? How did you feel, and what did you think as you just continued to be able to perform in later innings?
I was definitely getting tired at the end of the game. I was just trying to go out there and get outs as quick as I possibly could to keep pitching. My coaches kept checking on me every inning, making sure I was okay. Nothing was physically wrong with me. And I was just begging my hitters for that one run that we needed to get the win, and we finally got it in the 11th.
Patrick?
Question for all of you. When you guys are 1-14, you're obviously about as far from making the postseason as your team could possibly be at that point. What were you guys thinking about at that point? What were your thought processes going forward from there?
Well, I can remember actually losing a game to Fairleigh Dickinson and being on first base and talking to our first base coach, Rene Ruiz. And I looked at him and I said, Coach, we're going to turn it around, don't worry. And he kind of looked at me half-heartedly and didn't understand what I said. And we ended up turning it around and winning the MAC championship. And now we're here at a regional, and it's great.
I think that as a team, we never lost sight of what we wanted to do, and at the end we knew it was going to happen. We just had to put it all together. And the biggest thing in the dugout is, no matter what the games were or our losing streak at the beginning of the year, we never lost hope, and we never gave up on ourselves and on each other and our coaches. So.
We started off the year against some pretty big teams with Maryland, FAU, High Point, some real good teams cross country. So, obviously it wasn't the start that we planned on having or wanted to have, but we understood the games we played and stuff, and we learned from it, and we knew we were going to turn it on to Max, and we finished off pretty good.
Pete and then Mark. Oh, I'm sorry, Daryl. I apologize. Daryl and Mark.
Taylor, have you always thrown that submarine style? How did you, if not, how did you kind of?
No, I actually came in as a shortstop, and I always kind of threw sidearm from shortstop, and then I switched to pitching my sophomore year. I threw over the top for the next like year and a half, and then one of our assistant coaches, Rene Ruiz, it was his idea to have me start throwing submarine. So I've only been doing it for a little over a year now, and I worked a lot with Ray every night and stuff, and kind of figured it out after that.
Mark?
Coach, what is it? I guess what is it like coming in here and for lack of a better way to put it, I guess kind of being that little brother that nobody pays attention to. It's these schools that we're all so used to seeing, battle maybe during the regular season or postseason, and then Manhattan.
Sure, yeah, I think we understand the reality of that. But at the same time, Manhattan baseball is, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if this program starts making playing this time of year a habit. The program is strong, and it was the one and the top reason that I was excited to come here and to be the head coach of Manhattan, because I knew I had an opportunity to win, and I knew the type of players that I would be coaching, and now the type of players that it's my responsibility to bring in. So we are a small school with a little less than 3,000 students, and when we compare that to Clemson, South Carolina, and Coastal, we are, I guess, the little brother, and we understand that. I guess maybe we can use it as motivation, but I really don't think I need to do that with our guys. I think we know our role, we know what we're capable of, and like I said, we're a small school, but we play pretty good baseball, and we're proud of that. And what this does for me and my guys is gives us an opportunity to show everyone that wants to pay attention to the Columbia Regional that we're a pretty good program, and we play the game the right way, and we're going to play hard, and we compete. So I think the opportunity of this regional, the biggest opportunity in this regional, I think probably lies with us as far as what we can get out of it. And that's kind of where our focus is right now.
David?
Coach, what's your pitching rotation for the weekend?
I'm certainly not going to get ahead of myself beyond the South Carolina game tomorrow. But Taylor will get the ball tomorrow against South Carolina. He's proven. Not only is he on quite a little run right now and riding that wave that he deserves, Taylor has proven that he has the ability to, for lack of a better term, not shut down, but he's proven to pitch well and to be able to hold bigger powerhouse teams in check. He did it against TCU this year at the end of April, where he pitched 9 and it was 1-1 going to the 10th. And we ended up losing that game in the bottom of the 10th. But Taylor, he did it. He had a good outing last year in the Gainesville Regional out of the bullpen against Florida and held Florida in check. So I think our best opportunity tomorrow against South Carolina will be with Taylor on the mound, and then the next day we would go with John Solinger.
Coach, back here in the back, can you just kind of talk about the evolution of Taylor? And I don't know if you've been there long enough to remember back when he was a shortstop. I'm not sure how long you've been at the school, but kind of talk about his evolution and growing from position player to pitcher to ace, in essence.
Yeah, well, all I've known Taylor is as a pitcher personally, but I'm very good friends with the previous head coach at Manhattan, who moved on to another job, and I was hired in August, and I've known Taylor as one of the pitchers, but I also know a lot of background about my players, and I made sure I did. And I heard Taylor's story and learned about Taylor as a high school shortstop and coming in as a position player and moving to pitcher and things. So I knew Taylor had it in him, maybe not to do the things that he's done in recent history, but I knew a couple of things. He is athletic, his body is strong, and he's durable, and he had the will to do something special. He's a senior. He sat in my office before the season started and told me how he never really did have an opportunity to do much at the college level, and that's all he was asking me for. And I told him he would create that. You know, I'm not going to give him an opportunity just because he's a senior and he hasn't had one yet. I would give him an opportunity if I think he gives us the best chance to win. And he was doing that out of the bullpen for us early in the year, and then we needed someone to start, and we turned to him because he's durable, he wants to compete, and he throws strikes. And that combination, he tries to stay off the barrel of the bat, and he gives us a really good chance to win. So how he has evolved as a player is a pretty remarkable story, and I'm just really happy for him and his teammates around him that he's able to enjoy it.
For the players, you're going to be playing on national TV in front of a lot of fans in the stands against some good competition. Have you thought about what it's going to be like? Do you feel like it could be overwhelming, or are you just excited about the opportunity?
I'll go first. Last year we ended up also playing on national television in the Gainesville Regional, and I know all three of us were there, and it was just a great experience. And of course, it's a little nerve-wracking for a small school to be in front of all those people, but I think that we played decent last year. We almost took a game from Jacksonville, so we're just excited and going to have fun with it.
Yeah, I think we're definitely all excited. We all want to be here. This is exactly where we wanted to be. So the fact that we have some experience from last year will definitely help us during this game tomorrow.
As I've said this week, last year we were all there, and it was more of a shock and awe. Nobody from our team has ever gone to a regional before, so it was kind of like we probably got a little caught like looking around and stuff, whereas this year we've all dealt with that now, so we're ready to compete and play as hard as we can.
Yeah.
You guys obviously have a unique situation playing at Van Cortlandt Park where you all have to set up the field. Could you kind of each talk about what you do before the game to do that? What you thought of it at first, and maybe, I don't know, how it helps kind of bond you guys or anything like that?
Well, my job is to put the lines down and the batter's box before the game and spray paint home plate so that we can see our plate. And I don't know, I take pride in it. I do it along with the shortstop, Yandri Galan, and we just, it's almost like if we don't do that, we can't play. So we take our roles, we do it, and then we win. And we won 18-0 this year at home, and it was a great feeling to do that. So we just take pride in it.
I remember my freshman year coming into Manhattan. It was the first time I saw the field. It was the first practice, and to be honest, the respect that I've built for that field is you can't compare it from the day I walked into to the day I'm standing here today. It's our baby. It's what we do every day for practice. We set it up, and it's our park.
Yeah, I mean, I like before every game I try to rebuild the mound as best as we can, and I mean, every year we put our fence up, we try to rebuild the mound and fix it up as good as we can. We spend a couple practices just raking everything off the field and stuff, and I mean, we take a lot of pride in that. And after all the work we do, getting the field ready to play, like we almost can't lose those games just because after everything we've done, we're not going to lose those.
What's the fence?
The outfield fence we have to put up every
Is
year.
it one of those orange fences? Or?
No, it's a metal fence, but we gotta like dig the
Stays up
holes
all
out
year,
and stuff.
right?
Yeah, it stays up for the year.
Any other questions for Coach of the student athletes? Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.